sullen!
If you're anything like me, you can never resist diving into a world where every choice matters and every corner hides a secret. Open-world isometric RPGs might not grab the spotlight, but trust me, they deliver some of the deepest adventures out there. So, I'm going to walk you through the top 15 open-world isometric RPGs you absolutely need to play in 2025.
There are no common folk here. Only those who are willing to risk everything to defend the world against the endless hunger of the abyss, or to win glory.
Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Diving into a fantasy world where the choices made actually mean something, not just for the story, but for the whole direction of how things play out. Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous throws in so many ways to customize and build a character. It's basically like giving players the keys to the kingdom. You can be a straight-up good guy, go full-on evil overlord, or get weird with demon powers or celestial blessings. The alignment system isn't just for show. NPCs react in different ways, party members might ditch you, or worse, and every decision can mess with what paths open up later. The combat is either super tactical, turn-based, or classic real-time with pause, allowing players to find their preferred style. Add a sprawling cast of companions, each with strong quirks and backstories, plus huge crusade battles where you take command of armies, and there's never a shortage of things to mess with. This one's basically the definition of epic RPG adventure, dialed up to 11. Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. Nobody expects to get hooked on Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, but sailing around with a ship and crew can become super fun fast. There is a great mix of finding new islands, getting caught up with different groups, and meeting all kinds of funny or strange characters. The way a player can pick between fighting fast or slow makes things interesting, especially when a battle is busy or someone wants to carefully plan out each move. Building a team with different class combinations lets anyone try new ideas and make their friends strong in cool ways. The choices a player makes also matter, because companions react to almost everything, and missions can change in surprising ways. Whether someone sinks other ships or talks to pirates, Deadfire makes every playing session feel fresh and exciting.
How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards?
It blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
Baldur's Gate 3. Honestly, Baldur's Gate 3 is the kind of game that grabs a player's attention and doesn't let go. The world is huge, with lots of places to see and things to do, and everything feels fresh almost every time someone plays. Players get to make their own hero, pick a class and race, and then set out on a wild quest with a team of interesting friends. The game really lets people make choices, and those choices change what happens in the story and how others react. There's a lot of fighting, but it's never boring thanks to lots of spells, tricks, and the chance to use things around the area to win. Even little things like talking to animals or throwing things in battle can help. Every quest and area throws something new and fun. So Baldur's Gate 3 makes every run feel like a real adventure worth taking.
I will ensure the continued existence of your organization. Just be warned. Your trip to Colorado will not be easy.
Wasteland 3. Playing Wasteland 3 feels like stepping into a wild, frozen land with a bunch of tough choices to make. The player leads a team of rangers and takes on all sorts of strange missions, from fighting gangs to dealing with weird cults. Battles are turn-based, so every move matters, whether someone is hiding behind cover or tossing a smoke grenade to block enemies. Team members can be built up with cool skills and perks, making each character feel special. People can even charm animals to join the fight. Finding gear, fixing up a base, and picking up new squad members give lots of chances to change things up. Choices shape the story and the world, and sometimes even small decisions have big effects down the line. Wasteland 3 lets players explore, fight, talk, and save the day, or make things worse, in a place where nothing ever goes easy. Path of Exile 2. Moving to the next one, which is Path of Exile 2, really levels up the action RPG experience. The world feels bigger and even harder than before, with loads of monsters to fight and new bosses that actually keep things tense. Now, players can team up with a friend in local co-op or play with others online, sharing adventures across all platforms because of cross-play and cross-progression. The way skills work is different too. Skill gems link right to the character instead of the gear, so making new builds and trying fresh ideas is much easier. The classes offer tons of play styles, letting everyone find something that fits. Weapons and skills look and feel brand new, and the game is much better to look at, with sharp visuals and smoother combat. It sticks to fair, free-to-play, so it's all about playing smart, exploring, and finding loot, not about paying to win.
You were my home once. Before you were overrun by these elves, dwarves, humans. They meddled with a power they didn't understand.
Divinity Original Sin 2. Something that stands out about Divinity is just how much freedom players get on their adventure. The game gives everyone a big fantasy world to walk around in with lots to do, whether it's fighting tough battles, meeting all sorts of funny or serious characters, or figuring out clever ways to solve problems. Combat is turn-based, and using the things around the battlefield, like fire, water, or high ground, makes each fight feel different and fun. Building a team is cool too, since there are different races and classes, and people can change their skills to try new ideas. Conversations matter here, because what is said and done can really change how the story goes, with lots of different endings and paths to take. Playing alone or with friends also works great, making adventures more wild or silly together. Every playthrough can feel like a brand new story in its world.
Precinct 57 sent their finest. Precinct 41 sent you.
Disco Elysium. Exploring the world of Disco Elysium means walking through the tangled streets of Revachol as a messy detective with no memory and lots of problems. Every moment is about talking and thinking, not fighting, since most of the action happens in deep chats, tough choices, and clever use of different skills. The game's cool part is how each of the detective's traits, like logic, drama, or empathy, will talk to him in his head, giving advice or stirring up trouble as he hunts for answers to a tricky murder case. Players decide how to handle things, be kind, be harsh, or just be weird, and the story really changes depending on those choices. There's almost no classic fighting, so the world grows bigger through decisions, learning about people, and working with partner Kim. Every new clue or conversation opens up more of the city's dark secrets, making Disco Elysium feel fresh and different with each playthrough.
For conquest and utterly loyal to your command.
You are fighting for your family and your home.
If they are not with us, they are our enemy.
It's been a long time since the Senate stood for the virtues of Rome.
Expeditions Rome. In this game, a person plays as a Roman leader trying to get justice after their father is killed. The whole adventure is about taking control of a team, making choices, and fighting in turn-based battles that are like a board game, where every move matters. Players travel all over, meet famous people from old Rome, and have to manage their own army camp. They also need to keep their team happy and strong while trying to win fights and find clues. The game changes based on the choices made, so players can be kind, strict, or clever. And different things happen because of it. There's a lot of talking, moving armies, and making plans. Expeditions. Rome is fun for anyone who likes making decisions, fighting smart in battles, and seeing stories change in a big history setting.
Find your path among 14 classes, dozens of archetypes, more than 1,000 spells and abilities, to give you the power to overcome one of the greatest challenges Golarion has ever faced.
Pathfinder Kingmaker. Coming to Kingmaker, the game is all about leading a group of heroes on big adventures while also running a kingdom. It gives players a lot of freedom to make a unique character, pick a party, and explore a huge world full of quests, monsters, and secrets. There's real-time or turn-based fighting, so players can choose whichever feels best for them. One big twist is that players get to be the rulers of their own land and have to make important choices to keep the kingdom safe and successful. Managing the kingdom isn't just a side job. It links straight into the main adventure, bringing challenges like dealing with other leaders, handling events, and building new things around the land. Every choice matters for the story and the land, so no playthrough feels the same. Pathfinder Kingmaker is perfect for anyone who loves quests, building up a realm, and seeing how their decisions shape everything. Diablo II. This game keeps you engaged with non-stop action, easy controls, and tons of loot to find after every monster is beaten. Players pick a hero, like a sorceress, barbarian, or necromancer, and jump into a world full of dark places and tough enemies. The main goal is simple. Keep fighting, keep getting better gear, and level up different skills to make each hero stronger. What really hooks people is how every fight and new item feels like it could be the big one. So it's always fun to try out new builds or go searching for rare weapons. It doesn't matter if someone is playing alone or online with friends, because the adventure and treasure hunts never really stop. The story moves forward as players find out new secrets and face scarier monsters, making Diablo II a game that's super hard to put down once started. Planescape Torment. It felt completely different from any other RPG on the scene. Instead of focusing on fighting, the game lets players dive deep into a wild, dark world full of weird places and even stranger people. Everything centers around a character called the Nameless One, who can't die and has lost his memory. The real heart of the game is in the story and the choices made in conversations, not just swinging a sword or casting a spell. Players explore the strange city of Sigil, talk to talking skulls, strange demons, and even old versions of themselves. The game asks deep questions about what it means to be a person, and every answer changes what happens next. With so many paths and odd companions, Planescape Torment is a true classic for anyone who loves stories, mystery, and a world that surprises at every turn. Fallout 2. The game really gave players a giant, wild world to explore after everything had gone wrong. Most of the action takes place in a wasteland full of strange people, mutants, and dangerous gangs. But the cool part is how players can solve problems in so many ways: talking, sneaking, fighting, or sometimes just being weird. The game lets everyone make their own hero, pick skills, and find lots of funny or serious side adventures across all sorts of towns. Battles are turn-based, and what a player does in one mission can totally shape what's possible later on. Choices matter, and reputation with different groups changes how the story goes. There's no rush to finish, so anyone can roam around, pick up odd jobs, and get mixed up in crazy situations at their own pace. Fallout 2 stands out for its freedom, dark jokes, and a world that reacts to almost everything players do.
Same time, divided and dangerous. The many races and cults all have their own needs and ambitions, which often lead to brutal conflicts.
Torment Tides of Numenera. This game puts everything into its story and the choices players make. Instead of just running around and fighting all the time, most of the adventure is about exploring the Ninth World, a place filled with super odd characters, lost memories, and weird technology left over from long-ago civilizations. Players step into the role of the last cast-off, a person with a forgotten past and a big connection to the world's mysteries. Every decision changes how the journey goes. Whether solving problems with words, sneaking, or using special powers, nothing feels set in stone. There is some turn-based fighting, but even those moments often let players talk their way out or find clever tricks to avoid violence. Companions have unique stories and can join on missions, and a lot of quests have more than one solution. Torment Tides of Numenera is perfect for anyone who likes exploring strange worlds and making important choices as they play.
You alone dictate the path of the people. You may wield an iron fist, bend with sorcery, show mercy, or crush all who defy you.
Tyranny. Have a craving for a fantasy RPG where players aren't the heroes but actually work for the winning side? Tyranny sets up a world where evil has already won, and players step into the shoes of a fate binder, part judge, part enforcer, for a powerful overlord named Kairos. The story is all about making choices that really shake things up, whether it's siding with strict soldiers or wild fighters, or even double-crossing everyone. Every move changes how people see the Fate Binder, which changes quests, story paths, and even how towns look and act in each playthrough. The battles use a real-time with pause system, so there's a mix of planning and fast action. Character skills get better the more they're used, and players can mix different abilities to fit their style. Tyranny also lets players create their own magic spells and build relationships with unique allies, making every adventure feel deeply personal and different every time.
Book. For once, I'm pleased with your impudence.
The Necromancer's Tale. Last but not the least, this is a story-rich RPG where players step into a gothic world near Venice, filled with secrets, magic, and lots of moral choices. The adventure begins by letting you build a deep backstory for your character, with choices about their childhood, career, and even the sign under which they were born. These all affect your skills and the way the story will go. As you explore, you use a special spell book to summon and control undead minions, commanding them in turn-based battles or sneaking them through the city without getting caught. There's a cool trust system where you have to earn people's belief and stay out of trouble or risk being thrown in jail. Every conversation and action can change your reputation with different groups, making every play feel unique. It's a game packed with creepy moments, clever puzzles, and plenty of spooky power trips. These open-world, isometric RPGs bring worlds full of adventure, tough choices, and smart battles right to any RPG fan's screen. Each game on this list lets players explore huge lands, team up with unique characters, and control their story with decisions that really matter. Whether it's classic titles or brand new releases, these games stand out for rich stories and lots of replay value. If you want RPGs that never get old, these should be at the top of your list for 2025.
Only you can answer these questions. Only you can decide which path to take. The choice is yours.